So you're thinking of getting into the housing market, you'd like to buy an investment property, you're looking for a home as a first-time buyer, or maybe you're just looking to move to the suburbs. Whatever the case is, what do you do as a buyer in a seller's market? Hi, I'm Katharine Loucaidou with the Katharine Loucaidou Real Estate Group, brokered by EXP. I'm actually here today north of the city in Barrie, and we are doing a pre-offer inspection. Why are we doing that? Why are we here on Thanksgiving Day for my client doing a pre-offer inspection? I'm going to explain why we're doing this and how it will help you as a buyer so that you're not going into a risky transaction. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you through this property, which is actually a duplex, explain to you what are the ways to recognize when a property is a duplex, likely a legal duplex. I will be doing my due diligence to make sure. But how will this pre-offer inspection protect my client? So let's go through the home, take a look, and then I'm going to explain to you. So as we enter the property, this is a bungalow. It is a raised bungalow. As you can see here, we call it raised because of the steps that go up to the first floor. What these people have done is they have put a front door on the upper unit and they have separated the lower unit. And the way that this has been done is the garage is available to both units, and as is the laundry room. So you're not having to go through someone's apartment to get to a laundry room. So let's take a look at the upper apartment here. This would be the main floor of the bungalow. Beautiful layout. What they've done is they have extended the deck on this main floor so that each person has their own space. The main floor tenant, because of course this is an investment property, will have access to the backyard. What you'll notice is that typically the main floor tenant of any type of a duplex or triplex property is the tenant that will have use of the decks and the backyard space, unless the backyard has actually been divided or it is a walkout and the lower apartment tenant will have access. Typically it is going to be that main floor tenant who has access to the external living areas. So let me take you around and show you what a duplex that has been prepared properly to be divided into two units. So as we enter the lower basement apartment, or just the lower level, you'll see here that we have fire rated insulated doors. How do we know? Because they're metal and they're much heavier, and then they have, of course, their own lock as their front door. As we enter, the first thing you're going to notice is the fact that all of the windows, well, most of the windows, especially this one here, the reason it is actually so big, and I'll show you from perspective, there's the floor. It is actually half of the size of the wall because we need a method of egress, which means in an emergency situation, a person could fit through that window. Oversized window here in the kitchen area. And as we go to each of the bedrooms, you will also notice extra large windows because a person would have to be able to fit through there in order to get out in the case of a fire. Now there is an electrical panel here on the lower level, and you'll see there is a separate laundry room for the lower level unit. So those are some of the key characteristics of a duplex, is having those methods of egress, having those fire insulated doors, having these separated hydrometers, these separated electrical panels. So what does it mean to do a pre-offer inspection, and why do we want to do that? Because of the busy market we have right now, and it is a seller's market, it is risky business to go in with an offer on a property you haven't done an inspection on. If you are going in at the top end of your price range and you are waiving a financing and inspection, and you are waiving the home inspection, there is nothing left to protect you in the investment that you are buying. And if you are paying upwards of any amount of money, 500, 600, 700, 800,000, that's a lot of money that you are spending on a property that you don't know whether there are deficiencies, you don't know whether the foundation is solid, is there mold, are there pests, meaning mice in the house? Wouldn't you want to know all of these factors prior to making an offer? We had the opportunity, it is a vacant property here. I suggested to my client that we do a pre-offer inspection. That way she knows, because she is buying her first investment property, she knows what the condition of the house is that she's buying. She can decide prior to putting in an offer, first of all, how much she is willing to spend, how much money she may need to keep as additional funds in case she needs to fix any deficiencies that are in the home. And then going forward, that home inspection report is not something to be afraid of. It's something to use as a guide to help you in knowing what is the age of the roof, what are the age of the components of the home, the HVAC system. When do you think you may have to replace those? As a person who is going to be a landlord and buying as an investment property, wouldn't you like to know the condition of that property prior to purchasing it? And then just keep track as time goes on. That is the best way to keep your investment solid and bringing in a profitable income for yourself. This is Katharine Loucaidou. Thanks for watching.